for something lost. You know, we're never letting go. This time we can reach the sky on a prayer. We go higher than high. Yeah, wide awake, it's a big mistake, 'cause it's something we can deny. And with a love like this, we'll never fall. All of a sudden
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Gentlemen, there's a gentleman backstage. I'm very excited to see him there. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Holistics. I am your host, Hollis Mahady. And again, this is Holistics. Hopefully, you could all hear me all right. We are broadcasting live tonight on the Facebook, on the Rumble, on the YouTube, on the Instagram. And I always forget one, X, that's it. And of course, Voice of the People, USA Radio and Television Network. And I'm very excited to be here tonight. I'm going to be introducing our guest. He just popped backstage. I was happy to see him back there. And yes, it was been a big weekend. I want to catch up with everyone in the chat room. We'll see. I broadcast live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those listening everywhere, maybe you're somewhere around the world, maybe you're on the West Coast, maybe you'll watch this as a replay, but you could catch me live every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And just a little housekeeping. I always do this at the beginning of the show for those who may be new and never, tuned in before. Maybe you're just scrolling on Rumble. You saw it. You saw the catchy photo of Mark playing the violin because he's our special guest tonight. Mark Woodyatt is in. I am very excited about it. You guys know one of my favorite topics to talk about is music. We've gone into all kinds of stuff on this show about AI in music, about important music. Obviously, I am a musician, so having a musician on always inspires me, and they're some of my favorite guests. And Friday evening, don't forget, we are going to be having another guest. And I will say that so I don't forget to say it, which I won't because I will say it later. Let me pull that up. Friday night is my holistic guest, which I'm very excited about. Oh, Hollis, that's me. I'm the board op, guys. So I do all my own show here, but I have to find it. I made finding it. Where is it? I have it. Hold on. 3, 2, 1. Where is my Donna? Anyway, Donna from Waverly Wellness will be here Friday night. And I know I'm like looking right at it. Bear with me. Bear with me as I pull up. Oh, that's why it's not coming up. What's this one? That's the Love Zombies. I know I have it here. Love Zombies now out. Love Zombies Land. There's Mark. He's in person. Oh, now he's gone. Where'd he go? He'll be back. See, I could see him behind the backstage. You guys can't see him yet because I have to unveil him. But he was just here, so I know he's here. He might have got bumped out of the studio, so hopefully he'll be back in. But that's all right. While we're looking, there it is. That's why I couldn't find it. It said the screenshot's not available. But there she is. Friday night, Donna Floramonte. She's the founder and leader of the Waverly Wellness House. 28 plus years of integrative wellness and cellular healing. Telling you guys you don't want to miss this episode either because she is just an awesome human being, a beautiful heart, a beautiful soul. And she's a wealth of knowledge if you're looking for a little holistic health. Like literally words of wisdom and free advice for people looking for that maybe natural route or just, wanting to feel better, all that kind of stuff we're going to get into because we talk about it here. So I will go into a little bit introduction about Mark as I hopefully wait for him to pop back in the studio. He was here and then he just disappeared. Let me get myself up there. There she is, Donna. And I'm back. There, I'm here. So while we wait for Mark to enter the studio again, hopefully maybe I'm just checking my messengers. I just realized I sent him a text and said, hey, Mark, I was trying to say, hey, Mark, just making sure the link works. And because of my spelling errors and this new damn phone that corrects everything, it says, hey, Mark, making sure link works. How about spell check, you guys? I'm sure that's all happened, right? You send messages and you're like, oh my God, what did I send? Probably think I can't spell, but I'm telling you, it's this keyboard, my fingers. They're used to the iPhone still. It's a muscle memory thing. So we're getting used to that. But as we wait for Mark to come back, I'll just do a little introduction of who Mark is and why it's a special guest because this guest, as said in the promo there, I've known him since 5th grade. And he been playing violin since 5th grade. He was like the little virtuoso who came, and even at a young age, so many years ago, I was always like, oh, a musician. I love music as well. And you know, there's a lot of musicians out there, and I love creative people. I love people who, I love all people, not maybe not all. We try to love everybody, right? Be kind, all that stuff. But I've always had an affinity. I've always been drawn to, creative people and ideas and talking and music and art and stuff. And I truly believe that everybody, every human is a creative. I hear people, oh, I don't know how to, oh, I was never good at art, or I'm not good at music. I truly do think that everybody is. It's just certain people know it right away. Others people don't tap into it. Like maybe they don't tap into it literally later in life, and they find out, wow, I really know how to draw. I like to draw. I like to paint, or whatever it is. Some people have to hone it, but they have it in them. So I do really truly believe like all humans are creative. We're all creative, but it's just, do you tap into it? And why are other people more creative than others? I really do think it's like some pursue it, some just know. It could be something from a past life, all that kind of stuff, whatever you believe. But one thing about this guy I'm going to bring up, Mark, is that like I said, I've met a lot of musicians in my life. I've been around music most of my life. I played in bands, I lived in Hollywood. And some the difference I think with Mark, there's some people that I truly believe more than others, because I do feel some people are called here to be that vessel, to be that light, and like they're a channel almost. And with Mark, I always felt like he, from just to be able to play like he plays from such a young age. And obviously he's going to be on the show, and we'll ask him how it all started. Like I'm curious. This is something I've never actually asked him, but like, I just feel some people are just born to do it. Like it's just part of their soul and their mission on earth. And some people, he really is, to me, he just like a vessel. He's just a vessel for music. He lives and breathes it. That's what I'm going to say. Some people are, musicians. Oh, I want to be a star. I want to go to Hollywood. I'm a musician. And it's all about, it's the coolness. I want to be a rock star. And then there's some people who just live and breathe it. They're literally like walking melodies, it just radiates out of them. So we have that guest to look forward if he gets back in the studio. Let me just check on him. I'll see if I could do my spell check better. Did you get knocked out? I'll say, did you get knocked out of studio? Oh, I heard a beep. Ah, there he's back. Okay. All right. Just in perfect timing. Just done introducing you, Mark. And yes, Holistics here. Everything, you guys. That's my website, hollismahdi.com. And like I said, I usually say in the beginning, there's a barcode there. And that's not a barcode. What is it called? A QR code. Yes, as I say. I do this show because I just love doing it. But tips, of course, support the show. And we always say support the people coming out and bringing light and good to the world. We could use it, us musicians, we're always, trying to figure out where our next gig is going to come from and stuff, but not Mark. I'm sure he's booked up. He's always playing music and stuff. So let me go into the chat room real quick, because Holistics here is not, it's only as good as the people watching. We're one big family here. As I say, quality over quantity. So Aaron's in the house, and Aaron is wonderful, from Maine. He's a great friend from Maine. I've been looking forward to this guest since you first introduced us to him on the show. Yes. And yes, we're going to talk about that. And so welcome, Aaron. And Joe says, good evening, Hollis, and welcome special guest for tonight. This is your faithful MLFT team leader reporting for viewing duty, ma'am. Yay. Thank you guys for being here. I love you both. And anyone else out there, feel free to say hello. Chat with us. We don't bite here. Everybody, we're starting to know each other. That's why I say it's the community. We're a community for people navigating a changing world. So there's Mark. So I'm gonna get my applause ready, because I like to put my little applause, and he'll give me the thumbs up when he's ready. Let's see here. Hey, maybe he'll even play us a tune. All right. Let's see here. Yes. And in the meantime, hopefully everyone had a good 4th of July. I'll talk about that at the end, a little bit about what I've been doing, or what I did in the Cleveland, I say football game, the baseball game I went to. The baseball game I went to. Unfortunately, Cleveland Guardians, I had my Indian shirt and stuff. They lost, but it was still a fun game overall. And there were some fireworks and stuff. So we had a great weekend. It was hot. The air conditioner situation is fixed. And we've learned that it was very hot, and other people in the building had this problem too. There's Mark there. Mark, you just give me a thumbs up when you're ready. You good? Okay, cool. All right. I would say drum roll, but I'm going to do an applause. I could do a drum roll on bongos. All right. So I'm going to bring you up on the stage here. This is, you guys, as I said, that my childhood friend, and I was lucky enough, he joined me on stage once, and hopefully that'll happen again. But here we go. I'm going to give a little applause. All right, everybody, here we go. My guest tonight of the night, the violin extraordinaire, virtuoso since 5th grade. Mr. Mark. There he is.
Thank you.
Oh,
Thank you
look
so
at
much.
that microphone. I have a microphone like that too, but I have never used it yet.
Yeah,
Look
and
at that. Fancy
I've got
pants.
one like
Fancy
yours.
pants.
I do too, and I haven't. I don't know how to use this thing, so it's like a Rode or something. I am used to using an SM57.
Oh, that sounds great, Mark. Look at him. See? Professional. He's a
I did it so I could sound like Frank Sinatra when I was doing these.
well,
So
you do.
I have,
Oh, good.
I
You
have
gotta
Holly. This is such an honor to be on your show,
Oh,
and
aw,
and to continually be in contact with you after so many years. I mean, we've had
Yeah.
many adventures that go back really from 5th grade throughout. I mean, I'm curious. Like, I know there's a lot of things we could talk about, but I
Yeah.
just thought because you brought up how we go back to 5th grade and we're both somehow or another intertwined and musically talented with intertwined with like the music industry, entertainment. And I really see such a similarity in a lot of people that we went to school with. And I'm still in touch with our 5th grade teacher, Cindy Gowell.
Oh,
And
yes.
she's a huge supporter of the arts. And
Yeah.
it was she was the person that really kind of, you know, how her personality was. Cindy, for anybody that knows her, is a legendary teacher in the Scranton School District. So much that this lady walking down the street yesterday that I always see walking, her doing her like very gentle Tai Chi walk. I finally said something to her yesterday. I asked her how she was doing, and she told me her name, which was Suzanne. And I thought, oh, that's very interesting. And right around the corner from where I grew up, and I mentioned something about 5th grade and Cindy Gowell and your show, and basically it was just, she went, oh, you're Mark Woodyatt. And then today I'm walking down the street. I got up, I put my headphones on. There was nobody. I was with my dog, and all of a sudden I put on Earth, Wind, and Fire, and I was like, tell that story of morning glory, all about the serpentine fire. And I had my bell bottoms. I was kicking,
Aw.
you know, and then then I calmed down, and I'm like, okay, buddy, you can just sniff around, and I'm trying to train him so that he'll come back to the house no matter what. So we just walked like down the block, and I saw just one woman walking down the street, and I know that lady yesterday that I saw. She lives in one of the Clay Avenue Commons. She must have told all the ladies there. So I went from being basically like invisible on my home turf for like a long time, and then today I'm like, somebody looked at me like with recognition, and I'm like, how does that lady even know me? And I went, oh, okay. This is great. Now I can have a recital, and I'll have some people come. That's like real local. But anyways, I'm only kidding. Like about people would come. The thing is, I don't know if you know, but like, it's been a really interesting journey for me since we were really like, we went to college, and I know we ran into each other in New York City, which was a blast.
Yep.
And I got to see just like, because I was up in Rochester from 2001, and you were in New York City from 2001 or two, right?
Yep. Yep.
So really interesting times to be there. And like, I was just thinking about all the music really that we were exposed to, and also that kind of quality of education that I really feel like, for me at least, 5th grade kicked it off, because I went from being in a Catholic private school, playing in church. My only relationship to music was like between me and God, basically. And all of a sudden I'm thrown in, and everybody wants to learn the violin, and like I'm taking string class and I'm playing, and people are asking me questions, can you tune this? And so I started to like become somebody that I guess you could say was like a leader, you know, like yourself, like somebody that maybe I didn't know I would become someday, somebody that had a voice and that had the experience to be able to share like what made us so unique and cool. And like at the same time, you and I are not done. We're just beginning. I really feel like this is our time.
I totally feel like that. And
You're
Mark,
totally
I
ready to,
literally
you know?
feel like now, because I've been through so many life experiences, and I have to say this before I forget, because you brought up a memory. Gowell's gang and Connerton's crowd, and I was in
Yes.
Connerton's crowd.
You were in
Connerton.
That's right. That's right. Because when I first saw you, you had a Jurassic Park shirt on, and
Was it
it
the
was
first
like
time ever? I feel like I remember the first time I met you. I don't know if
first
you
time ever.
remember it. Were we like outside in the playground by like the fence? I don't know.
I don't think I
Whoa,
was
look at
wearing a
that.
shirt then.
What is that?
That I think it's from 7th grade, but it's
That
Star Trek.
T-shirt you have from since 7th grade?
Yeah, I'm wearing it today.
Oh my
I never
god!
wear it Star Trek, so
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. No,
yeah.
but
So
you remember? Like, am I remembering that right? Were we outside by the fence where you go in the lunchroom, like on by the alley, and you would go
mhm.
in that way? I feel like that's the first time I saw you. I don't know if you remember that. Maybe that's the first time I
The
saw you,
first
but I
time
don't know.
I saw you was probably right after that in the cafeteria, and I saw your shirt, and it was it said Jurassic Park, and right, right like that, and I
Aw,
was like, oh my gosh, I was like, I immediately like had a crush on you. I got
aw.
to gush, no, but it's true. Like, granted, I had a crush on probably like a few
Yeah,
other
the whole
people
the
too
whole
at one
game.
time or another, but you were the first person that I noticed. I really did because I was like, who's this person? Like, you were just you seemed fearless to me.
Aw.
And like,
Wow. Really? Even in 5th grade, you
no, I'm
think?
just telling you, my first impression
Yeah.
of you was like, you didn't give two shits
Mm.
what anybody thought, and you were like really, really. I mean, your grandmother and my grandmother were friends. I mean, we go way
Yeah.
back, and we
Yeah.
also have so much that we've experienced separately. Like, I went off,
Mm-hmm.
I did all the stuff that you do when you're an old man, like in my 20s, just because I had been given foreknowledge that there was going to be something terrible that was going to happen to this planet. And I think it
Mm-hmm.
was pretty much, we could all imagine that was going to happen. I didn't know if it was going to. In fact, I really believed that maybe if I could change my mind and change who I was, that maybe the world would turn out better. And so I thought it was so important to really try to become like, because I was so super saturated becoming like going to state. I was a state concertmaster, if you recall, and then I went to this governor's school for the arts. After I went to that governor's school for the arts, Holly, and I hope you don't mind me calling you that.
No, you can't. You
It's an
guys,
endearing term.
just so you guys know, my real name's Hollis, but my mom
I
still calls me Holly. My people who've known me since 5th grade, because I went by Holly for a long time, but
oh,
my real name's Hollis. And when I moved to New York, I started using
oh my
my
lord!
stage name.
I didn't even know. Yeah.
Yeah, no. So Holly's totally fine. Like some people still call me Holly, but they're usually the old school. And to be
I like Hollis
honest,
though. I think Hollis is amazing, especially
oh,
considering we're both into holistic medicine. Like, I really like.
I get it.
Came up with a similar name. It was called Holosonics, and it
Oh,
was I had this vision. That, this one day I just kind of woke up and I looked at this like little kind of like, it kind of looked like this. It was just a circle, and I said, I'm gonna design someday something that creates sound, because I thought sound is actually spherical when it's created, and it's because my friend had just gotten a mixing book on like how to mix things, and it was showing how the sound represented in spheres.
yes.
So I thought, okay, well, that's definitely something. So Aloha Holosonics was just like this first thing. Well, my girlfriend at the time, and she's still my girlfriend, potentially my future wife. We'll see. Like, we don't really.
Good.
We decided we're like really not interested in getting married, if that makes any sense. Just
Yeah,
because,
of course,
unless
sure. That doesn't matter. All that stuff, you guys are
it
so,
doesn't. It's as long as you're committed and as long as
yes.
you're open with one another. If that's the case, like, if like some people are like, yeah, we're together, but we're not. You know what I mean? It's like, that's fine too. But I've been through all sorts of stages before I met this woman,
Yeah.
and she's been really great for me because she also has psychic intuition. And so she was telling me 15 years ago, get singing bowls to sound healing. Like, this is what we should be
Mark,
doing.
I love you so much. You know, it's so exciting to have you here and me too,
Thank
because
you.
it's like inspiration. See, just being in your presence. When I say, sir, I think, like I said, I don't know if you were off and you were in the background there, but
I
I
was trying
said
to get
that
my sound together. I
no, and
apologize,
that's
everybody.
okay. But you might have missed what I said. I said I feel like certain people. I feel like everybody even people who don't think they're artists, you hear people, I'm not creative, I have a musical bone in my body. I think everyone does. Certain people hone it more, certain people tap into it more, certain people are just know that's what they're meant to do. But my point was saying, like, you are to me like literally a channel. Like, there's some people who are just walking, breathing music and inspired people. I love being inspired, but what does inspired mean? In spirit. You know, so when I talk to musicians who are in spirit, I get inspired because it's like, it's all spiritual. And even that you said it is from 5th grade, that was your way. Music was through God. And like, just like I said, just getting started, all my whole career, there was so much like, you know, I'll be honest, I admit when I was younger, I didn't know, you know, like little ego. Oh, you learn so much. This whole journey to right now literally was bringing you back home to yourself, like going away to somewhere you never left, you know? And now I feel like that's why. Yeah, and I know that about you. And isn't it weird just seeing me in the 5th grade? You know, now when you're younger, like it's like we were in a soul group or something. You know what I mean? The certain soul that we recognize, even just a soul thing. Like, you know, when you're younger.
I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
I was real nervous about this, and
about what coming on?
Well, it was more so like the anxiety of like the technical stuff, just because I can do so many things technically. And I didn't know what was going to work with my setup.
I understand.
I was like, I need to have enough time to be able to set everything. I didn't, of course, because I got.
But it sounds great.
I'm just gonna call her my partner because Lily's my partner. Her brother, John Gregory, has Sweeper Central, and I just bought 2 sweepers from him. I bought an Auric, and he gave me this really amazing sweeper to take care of these beautiful rugs that are here that are like from Peru. And like I'm sitting on one right now. It has like a shaman on it with like some kind of, it's very interesting. It's like some kind of like psychedelic, like these aren't even mine, but it's really neat. The tradition goes way, way, way back in Central and South America to this stuff, which is cool. Not to get sidetracked, but I was saying,
no, it's okay.
I was a little bit nervous, and I thought what she said to me was so cool. I have to share it with you. She was like, remember, it's already done. The interview went well, and it was very positive. And I'm like, she's actually like not channeling anybody, but she's like sensing, she's reminding me that time doesn't exist.
Oh
and
my,
like,
yes.
This is Sony. And you can't hear me. I must have screwed up the sound here. Second.
I can hear you okay.
I must have lost you here.
Hello? Can you hear me? Now I can't hear you.
It didn't mute me. I don't know.
Oh, I can hear you now. Can you hear me?
What the fuck is going on?
I can still hear you. It's all good. No worries. Listen, I can hear you now. Not as good.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me.
Very strange.
You might.
Anyways, time does exist, but it doesn't.
Right, but that I was reading that today. I mean, Mark, literally,
I don't know how to get this to work.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You.
Yes. Okay. What he could probably do. Remember, we had this with Chris.
I'm just going to do the same thing I did before. I'm just going to turn this on.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you to go back, go out of the studio and come back in.
Off.
Just go back out. Try going out.
Hello.
Of the studio. Can you hear me, Mark? And rejoin.
Hello.
Hello. Try going out.
Okay, I'm going to rejoin.
There you go. Hey, this happens, right? No, nothing to be nervous here about on Holistics. Trust me. If anyone knows, I'm the queen of knowing about technical difficulties, you guys. But I told you, right? Already, you get it, right? He's so cool. We're gonna have a good conversation. In the meantime, what is it Joe says? Of course, we don't bite here, rather. Yes, Hollis, I have trouble with my spelling with this voice to text in my phone myself, so I can relate. I know. I look at my messages, and Dan knows. Like, I'll look at him like he probably doesn't even know what I said. All the words are messed up. Oh, I definitely saw Fearless in college. Aw. In college, they called me Holly the Bali. I didn't know that. Oh my gosh. What does that mean? Holly the Bali. Or, I got Holly Jolly a lot because, of course, Christmas. Bring the noise. We can hear. Yeah, I could hear him. I bet you he couldn't hear me. Something happened. He was just like, the interview went well. And then, but it is. There he is. He's back. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to add him to the stage.
That's so much better.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's like running this on a messenger seems like it works better than like running it out of Brave. So, but I have. Remember when we got those grants from the city,
Yeah.
and I was able to get a computer, and then
Wow.
something happened to it, and it got repurposed. God bless. But I need to get a new one, and
Oh, that was so
it's
cool that
okay.
we got that grant.
I know
Thank you,
that
Scranton.
was so super helpful.
Oh my gosh, I got it. My keyboard that I have to play
God,
live.
if
I
I
got
was,
a laptop. It was amazing. Gosh, thank you,
it was a.
Scranton. Even though I don't live there anymore, but thank you. My home is still there.
I know. I know some people like got more money than others, which is
Yeah.
interesting.
Hey, it was the first time
I
that
could've-
was the most money I ever made in music ever. I was like, oh
I
my
would-
God, just give me really? Thank you. Like,
I
wish
know,
I
seriously.
wish I still had some
I
of
guess
it.
I have been really blessed and spoiled at times, just because, as you can imagine, the violin world is like, instruments are expensive, really
Yeah.
expensive, and fortunately, there's more violins out there than people know what to do with. So there's a rabbi right down the street who let me borrow a violin for a month, and I test out these really unique instruments. So this is one of the things I wanted to speak with you about. This is so
Yeah.
exciting. So when I heard Yo-Yo Ma play years ago, I was like, wow, I love the way the cello sounds. I kind of wanted to play the cello, and I thought,
And for people who don't know who that is, who is that?
so
Who is
Yo-Yo
it?
Ma, okay, you can hear me pretty good, right? Like,
I hear
I'm
you
just gonna
better with
hold the
that.
mic.
If you can use that, that's
Yeah, I'm going to just do this.
sound very
Okay.
professional.
So Yo-Yo Ma is a cellist, and he's been pretty much famous since like the early 80s for being one of the most excellent classical cellists, but he's also done crossover things, and he has a great album with Bobby McFerrin. He's kind of like the dude, like the greatest cellist in the world, like the voice of really all classical musicians. If you're going to like say one person could really represent all of them, I would say it would be him. So, and I got to hear him play, Holly, years ago. And this was like the year 2000. Okay. So I have something from the year 2000 that I would like to read before the end. So you hear what my mission was, that I found this. This is like a time capsule, and I was stunned. And it brought me back also to when I met Yo-Yo Ma. And I heard him play. It was beautiful, but I wanted to speak with him. So my friend Mara and I waited after the show, and we were the last people in line, and he must have waited 50 minutes talking to everybody. And finally we spoke, and I said, Mr. Ma, I'm about to audition for college, and I don't know if I should audition for jazz or not. And my mom is giving me a hard time about it. I, no, I didn't mean to throw you under the bus, Mom, right? But the good news is, he said, Mark, he's like, if I could have started to learn how to improvise at your age, I can only imagine I'd be light years ahead of where I'm at now. Go for it. And I was like, yes. Now, recently, J.D. Vance I don't know what he did, but I don't really feel like the guy has anywhere near a level of culture as me. Personally, I don't know him at all, but I can't imagine how he could be cultured as us, because we were like given that kind of background. I think people need to come together.
He is from Ohio, though. I think he had a pretty hard.
Maybe maybe he's like a virtuoso, like bassist, and like could.
Oh, does he play music? I didn't. Know that.
I doubt it. And my and what's hilarious to me is that the founding fathers actually, like George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, these guys fiddled. So the other day, when I heard you made when you mentioned about your book, I thought, gosh, I should send her my book. And then I thought, maybe I'll make up a movie right now instead. Let me just see if I can do it. Like, let me see if I can actually like come up with the idea for like a great idea. And it was like right before they shut CERN down. I don't know if that was like helping the creativity. It was like there was just a surge of creativity. I'm just being speculative, but it was like last week, and it was basically, no matter what I do, I'm always trying to go for this thing, and this thing is kind of like helping people come together over music. And so, not to get sidetracked, but J.D. Vance, I think, was doing something that had to do with cutting the music, right? So it wouldn't matter who it was, politician wise. There's going to be, you got to have people that step forward and say, wait a minute now, like the first thing that should go shouldn't be music. It's the last thing that should go, because music is really the secret sauce. But that's,
Yeah.
and those of us who know all the best high schools in our area still have music programs that they start teaching them pretty young. And I know the teachers at Abington and Moscow and Wyoming Seminary, and their kids in Scranton, like when we were there, like we had early music education. So basically, Yo-Yo Ma came forward recently, like in a statement, and he just said something about how important music was. And I thought, you know what? I've always wanted to be able to say thank you to him, and also I want to actually meet him, or at least be able to maybe have a dialogue with him, and just see how he feels I did based on his advice. Like I want him to be able to assess me and test me even. Because I think when I have the greatest guy in the world, like who inspired me to be able to do what I do, and what he said to me, the reason he's the greatest is because he's humble, and he wants to see people come together, like, and he understands. That's what music really teaches us. I don't think that you could really put it too much into words more than that, and I think it's something that we would both highly encourage people to do. And I want to make it like my mission to be able to bring, I guess what I offer, maybe you could say, is the versatility. I think that's my strongest suit, is that I'm able to adapt. I can, on the violin. and I try to be like that in, like water, like, you know what I mean? Like you want to be, Bruce Lee said, like water. He's one of my favorite, inspirations, because I thought, I don't play the violin like everybody else, but I could take a little bit of this. Like there's the fastest violinist in the world, Jack, and I got that. I had to play for somebody's funeral last year, Hollis, and
have you done that a lot or not?
I have. In fact, this is like a huge thing. I'm actually in contact with people, working with them. Like this is like my main job. Like it's like, even though I don't get called to do this a lot, but I feel like I take it as seriously as any work, weddings, funerals, because somebody thought of having me for their loved one's funeral, or that person thought of it, and it started with Governor Casey's funeral back in 2002, where I played How Deep is the Ocean. And there was a book called The Violin Maker that was written and inspired by the guy's experience listening to me play the violin. And really, the reason why it had such a powerful impact only came to me the other day. I remembered that moment before I looked at Monsignor Quinn, who was playing the piano, and I decided to play another verse. And I went up an octave, and I sang it like with my violin, and you could hear a pin drop. And this guy wrote this book, and he actually asked me, because he wanted to know, like, how could the violin have that effect on people? And he got into the science of it and everything. Mm-hmm. But as you and I know, there's something metaphysical, almost you could call it, that happens. It's like you're the spiritual aspect. And I wish I had the conversation with him, would have saved him from writing a book. And I told him I didn't want my name in it. So basically, I've been rejecting fame for the idea of fame for a long time, but it's so interesting how that all kind of comes together, because really I embrace anything that comes my way when it comes to a musical opportunity. And there was a funeral for a friend's son who is our age, and I knew that there was no way for me to play this Coldplay song with a backing track. You get what you want, but stuck in reverse. And then I did the 2-part harmony on the violin. Lights will cry.
Oh yeah.
And like I went up to the front of the church, and like where they were doing the readings, and I just looked at them. And then I just closed my eyes and I played that. And they still think about it. And like it's like I wouldn't have known, but the lady sent me this beautiful card, and her husband had been he was a reconstructive surgeon for when my mom had cancer, and they love him. Like,
Yeah.
he's a wonderful man and wonderful family, and they were devastated by their son's loss. And I felt that. I felt it. I've nearly died myself. I've had many people, not everybody's still with us. So it was such like an honor to be able to do something that brought that like pop, like brought even something like that into a church. And maybe that's why I don't get too many gigs in the church. I'm joking. That was a very special. They make exceptions for music, and that was definitely one where I did not plan to do that. It just like I'm glad that we were trained well. I mean, think about it. When we were in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, how many like concerts do you think we had?
Well, gosh. Well, see, I was in the chorus class I was more of the singing.
so was
and I was
I.
in the marching band for a while. Were you in my chorus class?
I was in. Well, were you in like
Was it Miss Mobley? Remember?
no,
Miss
no. I'm
Nick?
talking about East first.
East was
6th, 7th, and 8th.
Mr. Lindner for band.
Yes, we had band, and there was like
What did you play? You didn't play the violin in band though, right? Because they didn't. Or what did you?
no. That's the thing. I got good at trumpet then, and
I played the trumpet too.
yes.
I don't remember that. And the
I
baritone
was
horn.
okay at singing.
Aw.
And baritone, you played the baritone.
Yes.
With Jason Cholera, right?
Carly and I played it. Carly,
That's right.
But Carly and I we played.
I was
it
okay at
together.
baritone.
Yeah, but it was similar to the trumpet because it was
It
the
is
same
same
like,
exact
note.
tuning, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were good. I don't know. That was one of the, I think it was like you and Carly, and then I think Dallas and I played trumpet, and then there was like
Yes, Dallas was
Clarissa Townsend played
Oh my
sax.
gosh, you're bringing back all these memories.
Whatever happened to her?
I don't know. Never heard from her. Okay, did she go to East, or did
My
she? I
friend-
don't remember her from Prescott.
How many people do you know that were like the top people in our high school?
I don't know.
Still,
I don't.
isn't that weird? Like, I feel like I never got called to a reunion or anything, but I just feel like
Yeah,
our
me-
generation got screwed up. I mean, we were in college for like two weeks when 9/11 happened.
Oh, we were in college. Yes, I remember that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I've had many years to kind of get a perspective on this, and it's unbelievable what happened, because within those first 2 weeks at school, for me, I was in like the top band, and I had to get over the fear of that. And then when that happened, my friend from Austria and I were just basically, she's a great violinist. We were just smoking cigarettes outside, looking up at the sky, going like, we just felt like the world had changed, and it didn't feel like it changed in a good way. And we're like, I don't know what's going to happen, but Olivia and I, we've been friends ever since too. It was like somebody like kind of like same level of violin like talent from Austria, and we met at these summer programs that I would go to, 99, 2000, 2001. So I was like really lucky. Like I got shipped out and like got immersed with people that I started to make music with, and I'm still in contact with. I'm friends with somebody up in Trumansburg. I was just talking to last night, good friend of mine, Joe Pepper, and he is an amazing. You'd love this. He does Moog synthesizers, but he also has a Bosendorfer from 1852 that is just about to be removed from the house where the guy that was known as the greatest piano restorer in the United States, that was his teacher.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So and the man's still alive, but he's moved out of that place into a care home, and so I'm gonna get to go up there, and we're gonna record some pieces. Apparently, Joe said this Bosendorfer is so nice, and somebody that was a great pianist recently played on it and said it's perfect for Mozart and Schubert and Bach. No, not to get nerdy, but like Mozart,
okay.
Beethoven, and like Schubert are like between 1750 and 1840, I guess you could say. And I just happened to, when I was at Eastman, be good friends with and the driver for somebody that played one of these forte pianos, Holly, which is actually in between like a harpsichord and a piano, and it actually has, I think, a holistic quality to it. It's more dynamic and beautiful. Like I just love it. it was before they. And for those of you who are interested in my 20-second brief synopsis of music history of the 18th and 19th century, basically, if you think about when the War for Independence was, and then the War of 1812, after that point, basically there were larger venues where people were meeting in, like concert halls, because before that, music was more so something that was funded by the bishops, the state, and so the instruments had to get bigger, and acoustics were different too. So, anyways, I could go off on a tangent, but I'm not. I just thought it would
Let
be.
me ask you. Let me ask you something, Mark. Back to, I want to touch on what you said. A couple things. One was definitely about, you know, the importance of music in schools and everything. And I can't, because we live in such a different age now. It's weird because I say, it's like, especially someone like you and at our age now, we've literally, and because you have gone to New York City, you've lived the life. I always say, and I talk about this all the time on this show, we're kind of we are navigating now a completely different world. And we are literally, we lived in the split, in the shift, right? Because we were probably the last generation. I say, like, I call us the in-between generation, the hide and seek generation, the exennial or whatever, because we're halfway of the old and halfway and now in the new. And we're navigating this new world, right? Like they went from, you know, tapes to CDs and to all this stuff where it wasn't possible to do what you could do today. And we talk about that a lot, the good and the bad of AI. We could get into that. We could probably talk for hours about that. But but another thing I wanted to say, yes, but I can't imagine school. I mean, and I know they're cutting arts and music, and I'm a huge advocate for that. I'm like, no, like that, because that's who we are. That shaped, like, you know what I mean? And we have different journeys, you know, and that's why I want to ask you. Like, I know you started to talk about it, like in 5th grade with Cindy Gowell and everything, and how she really was one that kind of that person maybe that like even pushed you. Or for me, it was always my dad. He was like, he almost made me play the organ. That's how I started. At first, you know, he was like, "No, just keep trying it." And I was very impatient. I was kind of like, you know, and he had me stick with it. And then I eventually ended up falling in love with it and like kept going, you know, and then I realized I liked to sing. It was in 5th grade. I don't know what class you were in, Miss Scowell class, but I got the 5th grade solo, right? This is like a pivotal moment, right? It was Let It Snow. No, not Let It Snow. I forget what it was. But Christmas makes you feel emotional. It makes you city sidewalks, busy sidewalks. There's a solo before that. And it was 5th grade that I got the solo. And I was like, I could sing. Oh my God, I could sing.
Silver Bells. Yeah.
Yes. I got the solo. And it was like that moment. I was like, oh my, maybe I'm good at it, you know? And then I started pursuing it. And I forget what my point was here. Sometimes I go off too. I'm like, what's I talking about? But
you were talking about like the 5th grade connection and how things for you maybe seemed to kind of, I don't know, maybe you were getting it like solidified, like, or like came into maybe full effect then.
By, maybe other people. But for you, I'm curious to know, like, for you, because
that's fascinating to know about your dad and like, and the organ. I didn't know you started.
Yeah, that's how it all started. And it was my dad. Yeah.
Not an organ, on piano. And it was my mom. But my dad actually, too, was the person that scouted everything out. So we got to give him credit, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're like, because you were so good, I remember, like, even in 5th grade, we were like, because I think it was Miss Gall was like, he's a virtuoso, but you would, and like, tell me, like, how did that just come out of your soul? I mean, it has to come out of your soul. And I want to say before I forget too, even just mentioning about playing at the funerals and everything, the thing also, Mark, that I think people connect with is like, not that you're just so technically good, because we know you are, but you really play with your soul. And you know,
I think that's what's important. Forget about the technique, you know. I mean, I didn't mean to say it like that.
Yeah, no, I know, of course, you have to know all that stuff. But
it really isn't that important.
Right.
If you can't play with
it is and it isn't. But my point is saying, even like, and because I don't want to forget to say it, because we have a million things we could talk about. But even like my audience here, and I have a couple of questions in the chat room I'll ask you. But they know of you because it was like I don't know if you saw the episode, but a month ago when you had put that video up and you were like emotional and you were crying and you were playing this song and it made me cry, like it made me emotional because I was so like the way I know that you were sourcing that from God. I know that you were like connecting and the way that you were showed your emotions because some people are like wear masks in this world and they don't want to be themselves and you radiate like your pure heart, and to see like, the stereotype men shouldn't be emotional, men shouldn't cry and all this crap.
That was about as emotion, like that was about as vulnerable as I've ever been in my entire life, Holly.
And I was like, it made me emotional. I literally did a whole show about it that night because
really?
Yes,
because I never even really shared what I want you to finish, but I also have a backstory to it if you wanted to know.
I do, but I'll tell you real quick because this is where we're connected. I know it's on a different plane, a spiritual level. Like there's reasons of people coming in and out of your life and you reconnect and you go on different journeys, all that stuff. But it was that morning. It was maybe episode 10 of my podcast and I didn't really know what to talk about. And I was like, I was like, what should I talk about? I was like, I'm going to talk about my song Shadow Dance tonight. And literally I was pulling up the clip from montage of you and I on the stage, the only time we played together on stage, and you joined me to play the song Shadow Dance, which is all about the dance of life, all about your ego self. Like there's a lot of depth to the song. And I was like, I'm going to do an episode about what it's about. And I pulled that clip up of you and I was like, I'm going to play the little clip of Mark on the stage. Cause the song I did actually didn't put out yet. I'm going to soon, but and then like literally like 10 or 20 minutes later, I was scrolling on Instagram and I see that and I saw you, and it's just, you don't see that realness and authenticity. I can't never say that word, but you know what I mean?
You
raw,
did. Yeah.
And the fact that like, I felt it, that you were channeling you were crying because of God. I feel like, I mean, you could tell me the backstory, just that you were so connected and you are literally this vessel bringing the music, you're playing it, you're hearing something that made you emotional, obviously, and you could tell me the story, but the people in the chat room, I was talking about you then. They're like, oh, we can't wait to meet Mark, but they're in here. And so no, but that was my story. So you have to go back and watch that episode sometime. But that was episode, I think, 10 or 11. But again, just the spiritual element. And that's why I love talking to you because music it's healing and the vibration of the strings and all that stuff and the piano. And that's why it can't be cut out of the world. And like the way sometimes musicians are not treated, like you never make money, all this stuff. But like, that we're such an important part of the world that sometimes people forget, like we are here to heal. Like sometimes I'm like, it's a blessing and a curse sometimes in my life path. It's just like, oh my God, but I can't stop. It's like, we're here to heal and to bring our gifts through, ourselves out into the world because music is healing, man. It's just like, the 60s, the 70s, all that music I listen to. We lost Mark. He'll be back, I'm sure. But in the meantime, I will. Oh my gosh, I lost him. Where'd he go? He's coming back. And we have 12 people. I see 12 eyeballs out there. So if you guys are watching Holistics, I'm your host, Hollis Mahady, and we will get to the comments here. We have Nick in the chat room. I don't know if you're still here. Nick Barbary, Mark is super talented. Always a pleasure to listen to. When he comes back in, I'll make sure I read that comment to him. Yes, let's see. I'm going to play a little commercial while we get Mark back up here. So we're just getting into it, guys. We're getting to the good stuff now. We're just... it's the tip of the iceberg. It's the tip of the iceberg. So for those who don't know who I am, my name is Hollis Mahady, and I am the host here of my show, Holistics. And yes, I did just put out a book. It's called Love Zombies Land, and it's actually very spiritual. It's a story for children, but a reminder for grown-ups. Here, I'll play that just in case you don't know. It's available on Amazon right now, and get it, check it out.
The world has forgotten something important. And it's up to Lolly and the Love Zombies army to help us remember. When the evil Drago unleashes dark energies and dangerous amnesia fumes across Earth, a colorful band of heroes embark on a cosmic adventure filled with friendship, imagination, and heart. Love Zombies Land, a story for kids, but a reminder for adults too. Available now as a digital download exclusively at hollismahady.com. Each copy includes access to bonus content and a special soundtrack through an exclusive QR code inside the book. Join the community at buymeacoffee.com/HollisMahady and receive a free digital copy as a thank you. And coming soon, the paperback edition, which will be available on Amazon. Join Lolly and the Love Zombies Army on their mission to help the world remember what matters most: love. You're watching Holistics, hosted by Hollis Mahady. Be sure to visit hollismahady.com and join our email list to stay updated on upcoming shows, special events, new music, books, podcasts, and creative projects. And if you're looking for a community of like-minded people who value authentic human connection, meaningful conversations, creativity, music, art, and personal growth, join us at buymeacoffee.com/hollismahady. Together, we're building a growing community focused on preserving what matters most. Real people, real conversations, and genuine connection. Hey guys, have you noticed it too? The world is changing fast. Technology, AI, social media, endless scrolling. Sometimes it feels like we're all trying to keep up while wondering what we've lost along the way. The world is changing. This isn't about resisting the change, and it's not about living in the past. It's about bringing the best of what makes us human with us into the future. Authentic human connection, meaningful conversations, creativity, community, kindness, being human. I'm Hollis, and I don't claim to have all the answers, but like you, I'm simply navigating this changing world one day at a time. And that's why I created this community. It's a place for real conversations, shared experiences, curiosity, creativity, and connection. It's a place where like-minded people can come together and remember what matters most. In a world filled with self-promotion, this community isn't just about me. It's about us. So as my contribution, I'll share things that I do create. Music, podcasts, stories, creative projects, special events I'm thinking about having, and a complimentary digital copy of Love Zombies Land. A story for kids, but a reminder for adults too. But the real value here isn't just the content. It's the community we're building together. And if that sounds like something you've been looking for, I'd love to have you join us. The world is changing, guys, but let's bring the best of what makes us human with us. If you're interested or thinking about joining, head over to buymeacoffee.com/hollismahady and check it out.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Holistics. I'm your host, Hollis Mahady, and we are talking with Mark Woodyatt, and he's been getting bumped in and out of the studio, but I saw him get his violin out, so I'm hoping he'll play us a little bit. I think he will. And I know Aaron asked that earlier in the chat room there. So let's wait for Mark to pop in here. You know, I have these ants on me. I was outside, and there's little ants going around now. I don't know. I had honey out. I'm like, is it getting attracted to the honey, or are we going to attract ants in here? So let me go over to the comments, see if I didn't miss anything here. The interview, would Mark play some of his original music? Well, let's ask him when he gets back here. He was just on here when I was playing the commercial, and then he disappeared, but I'm sure he'll be back in. And yeah, we're having a great conversation. I wonder, any of those Scranton people out there, if you guys are out there, you're watching, feel free to join the chat over here. If you have any questions, for Mark too. And thank you again, Nick's in the house, and he says, Mark, again, we're going to tell Mark that when he comes back. And in the meantime, we'll wait for Mark to come back. Obviously, when he gets here, I'll pop him up on the stage. But yes, we were in the music flow. I want to hear his story about his side of because we could go in many different directions. You know, musicians and creatives were like one topic to the next, but I do want to hear what his story is behind the post he shared, because that inspired one of my episodes about shadow dance, and that is up there if you guys want to go and rewatch it. All of my episodes. This is episode 42, I believe. 42 episodes of Holistics. I come a long way from episode 1 when I had many technical difficulties. I'm getting a little bit better here, a lot better. So here, let me put my background back on as we wait for Mark to come back on. Let me check my text here. Could you give me 3 minutes? Oh, okay. Yes, he's coming back in 3 minutes. Yes, come back. Yes, come back though. Okay. People want you to play, Mark. They want to hear your magical violin playing. Okay, yes. So we will chat a little bit in the meantime about, what should I chat about? Okay, I was going to tell you guys about the 4th of July. I wanted to know what, some of my regulars in here, if you guys had a good weekend, what you did, a little bit about your celebration. It was a sweltering hot here in Cleveland, Ohio. And as usual, I was at the pool during the day, and then we geared up and we went to the Cleveland, the White Sox game, and that was it. We went to the White Sox and the Cleveland Indians. I guess they call them the Guardians now. They did lose. I did have an ice cream, and we met up with Quentin Flynn, who told me he is going to be willing to be a guest on my show. And Quentin is awesome. Quentin's very, very, very talented. He's a voiceover actor. He's done like the stuff that I didn't even know he's done. He was like Timon on The Lion King and the cartoon, and he goes to all these conventions, and he I don't even know. I'll let him tell you about it, but he's going to be an interesting guest. And the thing in common, my theme with the guests, and again, everybody's welcome, but the thing is, especially for guests, what I look for on my show as I'm finding my feet and my way, I love to have guests who have a story of overcoming something, and guests who are, spiritually in tune with God and, something higher, because especially with music and stuff, which is why I get really excited talking to Mark. I do feel he's very connected to God and spirituality, and he's a vessel for music. And I think, holistic is the name of the show, Holistics, but holistic living and holistic health and holistic wellness, it's being whole. Whole is mind, body, soul. So, I don't like things that are just all ego and just about like, especially not on this show, but like I've had guests on other shows with Dan and the radio stuff. It's all ego. It's they want to come on, they want to sell their book. It's like, what are you doing? Like, what's your message? What's your purpose? Like, why do you want to be on the show? Do you like holistic stuff? Do you know anything about it? So for me, as I said, as I find my feet and I'm being particular about my guests, because I want, at the very least, I like to have them, because I want you guys to also learn something from them. But like, I like to have people who are, we're kind of vibing together and all that. And all my guests I have, especially my author, Jessica Gailey. She came on. She had a beautiful book she wrote, and Jason talking about his journey, finding God and everything. So all those things. Let's see. I don't know. I'm waiting for Mark. I'm anxiously awaiting his return. I want to hear his story, and I want to hear some of his music and stuff. But yeah, but like I said, that's what I'm looking forward so much. Also, remember, guys, on Friday night at 7 p.m. Eastern time, another very exciting guest. Now I can find it. Is it still like my pictures I have here? Where is it? Donna's coming on. Okay, it's this last one here. She will be on Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And I am forgoing Rookie of the Year at the pool because this is more important. But we have a pool here and they're playing Rookie of the Year. We talk about that on our Friday night shows, right, on TGI Friday. But we planned this like about 2 weeks ago, and I'm so excited she's going to come on. Donna I met when I was working at Inner Harmony Wellness in Waverly. And she is the founder of the Waverly Wellness House, and she does a lot of things. And Mark knows her as well. So I told Mark that Donna was coming on, and he said, "Oh, I know Donna well I've known her for a long time." Like I said, very good peeps. I hear a beep. There he is. Oh, he has a different background. Let's see where he's gone. It looks like he's like outside. I'm going to add him to the stage before he disappears. Here we go. There he is. He has a new scenery. Now we're getting one with nature. Very important. Aw, he made it back. Now the test is, can you hear me and can I hear you?
It's the reception is poor. I'm gonna switching just Wi-Fi. Let me see here. If you just hold on one sec.
No problem. I can hear you though. That's a good sign.
Good. It's there. There we go.
Okay, good. You can hear me. I can hear you.
I can hear you. Mark. You can hear me. Fantastic.
All right. Well, don't worry. Technical difficulties. When Chris, the musician guest came in, he popped in and out of the studio 100 times because not 100, but a couple times, because if you can't hear, you usually try to go in and go out and come back in. But where we left off, real quick, tell me before we get into everything else. And I saw you holding that violin because someone in the chat room did ask if you'd be willing to play something at the end or whenever you're ready.
I would be honored to.
Good.
Once I go back inside, I'll grab it definitely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yes. And do you know who Nick Barbie is? Because he says Mark is super talented. Always a pleasure to listen to. I don't know if that's one of your friends. He's a new name to me here.
Nick's a friend of mine who's a director, and he also was friends with Mr. Leahy, who was somebody that I ran into once at a performance. It's on YouTube. Rogue Chimp was performing at this fest, basically for the legalization of cannabis in Pennsylvania, and this was before it was a thing. And this guy was basically the mastermind behind that hit show, The Trailer Park Boys. Mr. Leahy, and he acted like a drunk, but he didn't drink, and
Right.
he shaved, and it's ironic that I didn't shave. That's one of the other reasons I'm stressed out, because he showed me something that was really powerful when he was acting, Holly, and he was on like the show. If you remember seeing that show ever, it's a really quirky
What is
show.
it? Trailer Park?
But the Trailer Park Boys, he was basically like this character that Mr. Leahy played was like the guy that was like the mall cop. Like he was like the private for this trailer park, and he was always trying to bust these guys or doing stupid stuff, and he used to cross dress and all sorts of funny things. But it was just like ridiculousness, and he would be disheveled and everything. So after our performance, where we were just jamming out, and he was there as like a spokesperson, and I said, "Hey, have you ever sung like with the band before?" And he's like, "No." I said, you want to try something? And we started to do a beat, and my friend Jacob was recording it with his Google glasses. This is like 10 years ago.
Uh-oh.
Underneath this show in some way or form, once this is online at whatever place you'd want me to comment it on, just have a link to that. Or I could just message it to you, because it's really cool, because he was talking about like how really the most important thing is like you gotta love, with all your heart, and stay true to what you believe in, and like
Advice.
his whole thing was like love, and also he gave me a really important lesson. I talked to him afterwards in the green room. I said, "Do you mind if I talk to you?" Because he was like, he had to go in like 20 minutes, and his entourage was like out in the lobby, and he was shaving. And so I went in, and it was like a 3-person like bathroom, like 3 sink thing. And he said, when I shave, I never get pulled over, or I never get frisked at the airport. I'm fine. He's like, but if you don't, they will, especially him, like they'll search him, and he'll be there longer, just to be a pain in the ass. And so he showed me that perception is really important. So like, I always respected that about you. I feel like,
Oh, Mark, you're cutting out a little bit.
I want you to be my coach when it comes to like just yourself.
Oh, I heard coach. We're losing you a little bit, Mark. You're cutting out.
Okay, maybe that'll be better.
That's good. If you could try it, maybe say that's good. I hear you.
Yeah, so it was important for me to learn that, like, basically I always want to shave. I don't want to be seen with a cigarette. These important things, But partly the reason why I'm still smoking cigarettes is because I've had narcolepsy with cataplexy, and it's like been like a disabling thing for 20 years, and I've never really talked about it until I could basically get over it. Like I had to like get holistic with my life completely. And one of the things that I'm going to be replacing this with, I had a holistic coach he said to get knickknacks. They're like nicotine Tic Tacs. So I'm going to get those like within the next week. Last week, smoking cigarettes. I finally decided to quit. I'm announcing it right now. I have to, because I love smoking, and I love that it was like a Frank Sinatra thing when I first started doing it. When somebody loves you, right from the start, like that right timbre and range. And I had learned when I was at college from a great violinist that she said, just like listen to Frank Sinatra, and you'll learn more than you'll learn violinist. She's currently the head of the Philadelphia recording. She's like the president of the Philadelphia like recording artist strings Grammy people. Like she's top violinist. So I'm glad I took her advice, because I never finished my schooling at Eastman, and my teacher said move to New York City, and that was when I ran into you. So my girlfriend at the time was in New York as well.
Mark, did you play with? I feel like you played with like the Funky Niblets. Did you? Because that was my first band I was ever in. Do you know Vince and everything? Remember in Deer?
Really?
Did you know Vince? Remember Vince Marone?
You play in the Jazz Assassins together.
That's it. Yes.
No
my first
way.
band. Yes. My first band ever when I was in college. college,
He's playing.
it was what?
Yeah. No, he's playing right now where I'm facing. And he's playing at Villa Maria too.
Oh my, isn't that crazy? Wow.
Yeah.
Literally, like when I went to college at East Stroudsburg University, I was like, oh, I want to be in a band. It was like and then I hooked up somehow. Wasn't it East Stroudsburg? Or maybe it wasn't. I don't remember how, but it was my first band ever. It was called the Funky Niblets, and it was Vince. It was
in New York for the last like 15 years. Yeah. Dieter. Yeah.
Dieter and Jason and yeah. And then you came and I remember like you were
That
with
was
Vince
you?
or something. It's funny, right? I wonder if any of them are watching. Hi guys. Make sure to tune in and subscribe to Holistic. So I'll support your girl from Scranton here. I'm still at it all these years later. Mark's frozen. Mark's frozen in time. Look at Mark. We got him frozen here. Look at Mark, you can't move too much because we're losing you. Find one spot. Stay still. I know you're a musician. Your brain's scattered. It's all about, that's where all the brilliant ideas come from, right? It's like, oh, but now we can't hear you. He's frozen in time. Look at, he's having a good time. This is what happens on Holistics. Oh, people have good. Look how this should be like an ad, right? Like, come on Holistics, and you'll leave like this. Ah, we're gonna have to knock him out and have him come back in. Mark, are you there? Maybe if I do it 3 times, he'll come back. Okay, I'm not sure. Okay, he's gonna come back in. We got to get him to answer the question. I still want to know about the thing that inspired his post about his emotional music, because I love the spirituality part of it all. I could talk about that for hours. But yeah, so we have a lot of common things. The Funky Niblets literally was the first band. I was at the Funky Niblets, and I could have sworn it was East Stroudsburg University. I was at a party, and guy was like, "Oh, he's looking for a singer." Remember, guys, this was like a long time ago. This was before now, obviously. I was going to say this was before now. This was a long time ago. And I was at East Stroudsburg and I got the bug in me because I tried out. I don't know. I forget all the exact details, but I had tried out for some band and I didn't make it in Scranton. I remember the band. It was called Tin Pan Alley, and I was in Scranton, and I was like in high school or just graduated. I heard they were, a popular cover band. I went and I sang with them, and I was like, it was the first time I sang with a rock band or whatever. They were playing covers. I remember singing Skater Boy and or Watch You Gotta Go. Maybe it was Skater Boy. He was a skater boy, and I just remember after that, even though I didn't get the gig, I guess they went with someone else, I think more experienced. They had called me a little green, which means new. And it's kind of like credit. Well, it's like, how do you become not green? You have to get experience. Who's going to give you experience if you don't have the credit? All that stuff. But anyway, I didn't get the gig. Their loss. Sorry, guys. You really messed up there, Tin Pan Alley. I don't know if they're around anymore, but no, whatever. But, and then after that, I had the bug. My poor college roommate, she was like, every day I'd be like, I want to be, because we shared a room, so I'm always like, I'm trying to get in a band. My name's Hollis. I want to be in a band. I just kept putting it out there. I'm like, I want to get in a band. So I felt the power under my feet. I was like, oh, I want to be a rock star. This is awesome. I mean, I always loved music. I played the keyboard. Sang in chorus class, loved theater, went to music camps. I always loved it. But it wasn't until I sang with that band, Tin Pan Alley. And I remember they were singing Bon Jovi, and it was and at the time they're like, can you do some harmonies, some backups? And I was like, I didn't know I wasn't good at harmonies then. And, so I was just a little too young, but it was after that, it was that moment, but then it was in East Stroudsburg when I was looking for a band. And that brings me back to the Funky Niblets, where Vince somehow heard I was looking, or someone heard of me, and then we connected. But let's add Mark. He's back in his house now. So here we go. We're going to add Mark and see. So before he disappears, he's back. He's back. I've been giving a whole breakdown of my first cover band I tried out for, which led to the Funky Niblets, and then it didn't lead to you. I knew you before that, but everything's connected. Now, Mark, real quick, because before you start to play, because I want you to play, but tell me really quick about, because we were on a good subject and we got disconnected. Tell me about the little story about you posting the post. Remember, you were emotional? And then I had the episode about it. What prompted you to post that, something so vulnerable, and what was your story behind it? There's my interview question.
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yes.
I'm super talented, and my studio is in shambles because most of my equipment is locked in the in the garage, and my keys are locked in there. So, anyways, long story short,
The musician's
I want to
brain,
be able
right?
to make
We're
sure
all
I
over
can
the
hear
place.
you. This happened once before. It's really important for me to be able to hear you. And check 1, 2.
Can you hear me?
But I think this thing needs to connect. This should be connecting here.
I
I
hear
have
you.
it. I know you can hear me. There we go.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So go tell me the
Okay,
story.
and you can
before
hear
go
me,
on.
right? Talking in this mic? It's
I
crazy.
can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you good now.
I just lost you again.
Oh, technical difficulties.
Okay. If you can hear me, I'm just going to speak then. Just give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. Excellent. Okay. I feel like Stevie Wonder, but without my ears. So that piece of music, they Hold on.
We're being serenaded. You can't hear us. Ladies and gentlemen, you
And
can't
so
hear us.
on. That's all I can recollect at this time. But that piece was on Sesame Street, and it was like this beautiful image of this deer, I remember, and it was like I felt like the animals really, like, ever since I was young, I've never lost this heartfelt connection I had to animals and even insects, and it just reminded me of like just the innocence of how I was when I was a child. And I also know that that was the song that my partner had shared, that when she heard that song, it reminded her of who she was, and it just made me very, like, so. I remember at that time she felt so alone, like she never thought she would ever meet anybody that could understand, like, the emotion, like all the stuff that's going on, like I think music helps you process emotion. I feel like that's one of those things we're trying, like the takeaways from like Yo-Yo Ma, saying something to a politician, which is great. We need to have the artists speak up and say, hey, like let's collaborate here. We know that we're completely capable people now, like, and can make decisions for ourselves, and that's what we need to be able to do, is be able to discern things, and that gets taught through being able to trust your heart, right?
Wow.
I'm going to try to get this audio fixed, so I'm going to reload here.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Holistics. I'm your host, Hollis Mahady. If you're from Scranton and watching this, say hello. I hope you are here and listening. In the meantime, remember, I am here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Holistics. And a little bit about me, in case you know, while we're waiting for Mark to pop back in. Here he comes. Hopefully he'll be. We're going to add him to the stage. He's back.
I do apologize for the technical difficulties. Thank you.
It's all right. It's all right. I'm going to use my radio voice. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Yeah,
Yay,
absolutely.
okay, just stay in one place.
I will.
Well, that's beautiful, Mark. I mean, it's weird because, like, it's almost like a scent, right? Like a scent you smell. Like, but when I smell like CK1, it just boom, I'm back in high school. When you hear that note, we were saying about your partner and stuff. Is that what she said? It reminded her,
Yeah.
like,
It snaps.
a memory of like
It
who
snaps
she,
your DNA.
yeah.
It's what actually happens is like your DNA goes because it's resonating with something that it deeply remembers.
Yes.
And so those Sesame Street, like all those good memories of when I was a child too. I've always wanted to never lose that childlike fascination,
Yeah.
and goodness.
Innocence,
And
purity.
it's something that I feel like every day is a new day, and we have an opportunity to be the person, be the change you want to be, right?
Yes, I always say that. It's almost
live
remembering who you are. That's what I always say. We're here to wake
Yeah,
up and remember who we truly are,
your
outside
authentic
of our ego.
self. Yes.
Not our ego. Ego is edge got out. Ego I talk about a lot, but our
Yeah,
true authentic self. And I feel like even all
totally.
my music, to right now, I have a song called "Where Did You Go, Girl," and it's literally all about you know just coming back home.
Yeah.
It's like we take this journey outside ourselves, and we never really leave. It's like the Wizard of Oz, all that stuff. Not to interrupt. Go on.
Where do you go? Remember that song, My Lovely.
Yeah.
Ba, 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 ba.
Where do
So
we go? We're always
where do
searching
you go?
outside.
I
You know,
wanna know, no, no, no. I
where do
love
we go?
that's I had like so many questions for you planned, like on like your musical like influences, and like
Well,
I
this
just
is more
I
about
keep going
you.
back to the 90s. I know. Well, we could talk about me. That's fine. I just like
And we can have
there-
you back, Mark. You as
oh,
well.
I'd love to come back.
Anytime.
We could talk.
Anytime.
That's the thing. Whatever you want to talk about, anytime.
Because
You
we
know,
got to get it. We'll definitely. I don't know about
this has been so fun.
getting into AI. No. We still have some time. 9 o'clock
Okay.
tonight. I have about another half hour if you could spare, because I do want to hear you
Absolutely.
singing songs, and maybe AI, I think, is another. We should have you come on, and I'll get your take on AI and stuff and everything, because that's a whole
Absolutely.
other conversation. But
Oh, of course, I can always give you like my 1 minute synopsis of anything, or two. But yeah, for sure, we can address that completely some other time if you want.
yeah, or whatever. What were you gonna say? I said we just
Well, actually, what's
there's
really
no
interesting
format
about
here. Just
about it.
talk from the heart, the soul.
Okay, so I made a couple connections recently. This is kind of fascinating. I always like to. I hope to someday do a podcast. And I'm working on one. I've been working on one. So you could say, I'd like to say I'm doing a podcast, but I would like to do one on albums and movies, like just like reviewing them in some way or form. I just enjoy doing that. But I always liked The Fifth Element, that movie. It was, I think, released in 1998. And it changed my life so much. And I didn't think many people saw it,
I didn't
but
see it.
it completely was so
I didn't see it.
revolutionary that all movies were changed afterwards. And I didn't realize how big it was. Just like when I saw Austin Powers, it was like I had no idea what I was going to. I just went to pretty much any good movie that came out with my friend. Like we
Right.
went to all these movies, and so the Fifth Element was about love. The Fifth Element is love, and the director had the entire vision for this movie for 30 years worked out, like from dreams and everything. And he was able to raise more money than had ever been raised before to put this movie together. For it was the most expensive movie ever made in France. But my God, you got to see it, because like he taught
I didn't know.
he taught the actress that played the Fifth Element, Lilu, how to speak this language that he created. And they were the only ones who knew it, and they fell in love and got married. It's really romantic. But I also had there's a Serbian connection, because when I was going to school in my pursuit of becoming a cellist, which I was going to say, I do play 5 and 6 string violins that have a low range now, and that's why my dream is coming true. And my friend Eric Aceto is going to have me up to test one of his new Fadolins before it gets shipped out. And he just made an octave mandolin as well. He does some of the best violins and instruments in the world, and he uses extraordinary woods, and is a great violinist. And I'm so honored to actually have an instrument of his, and he's worked on all of mine. So, and I love that he has the low range. So I had a cello friend that we played duets together, and I visited her in Serbia. And she has this Belgrade. It's spelled like Beograd, like in English, or in non-Cyrillic or whatever, Belgrade. But I learned some awesome Tai Chi and like Tesla stuff from her, as well as like made some great music and got to meet her friends and got to stay there in Serbia for a summer when they were like just on the map because of their tennis people. Like they had like 2 tennis world champions. It was like, it was so neat to be there. Everybody, it was like the World Cup, you know, right
Yeah.
now, everybody there was like inside watching stuff. And it was like, I'm walking around the city and like, it was like barren and it was so weird, you know, everybody was like so into watching tennis. And I got to go to Romania and I just reconnected to my Romanian cellist friend who played on the Beatles album live. Like we did the Love tour, and it was like this like live performance of the Love album. And we needed a cellist, and I found this wonderful Romanian cellist, and I was just joking with her. Like I said, remember you showed me the picture of your husband with Miles Davis, and Miles Davis is like pointing at him with this jacket, and that like I haven't talked to her in years, but I just updated my phone, and she was the first person in the phone because I have her in there as a me, because we were like dear friends ever since then. And she just is like, you are still your authentic self. Because I was like, this is my Miles Davis look, and I sent one of those funny photographs. I probably sent you some today just to.
Oh yes.
Yeah. I have all sorts of interesting things that we can talk about, but I really want to keep cracking at what we were really getting at, which is like this like kind of this thread that connects things, as well as can you keep me on track here?
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, no, I mean, just the undertone of everything. It's like I said,
There's
on
so
Holistics
much.
Here, there is so much on Holistics here. I talk a lot about the spirituality of music and how everything is connected. And I think, like you said, we could go in 100 different directions. I mean, we could talk about past lives. Some people believe, some people don't. I feel like, I get into with music, especially like just how it is so powerful. It connects everyone,
wow.
and and
Well, that's a great thing that you mentioned, like about past lives, though. I mean,
I just feel certain people like I've always felt I've been here before, so whatever, far out or whatever. I've always looked at the world like I kind of, and probably the same with you, but it's just kind of been like, this is normal, like go to the work, and I'm just kind of like, but why? I was always asking why. I've always was seeking, like even when, when I was in London living, I would be at the Hare Krishna Center. When I was here, I would be like, even in LA, I was always seeking. I'm like, what is it? There's something bigger. There's a bigger purpose, but what's the questions behind life? I'm always like, questioning life. And then, at the end of the day, I believe it's God. And there's just so much more. And music is just that is my expression of that. And I know that it's your number one expression of it.
absolutely.
And here's a question, Mark. So you do write some of your own original stuff on the violin?
Oh yeah, all the
Yeah.
time. I mean, basically, anytime I'm playing anything, it's like I can compose, and like my fingers can do stuff that I don't even understand. So when I first put a violin in my hands, I really want to be recording it because I'm blown away at what I'm coming up with. And this is just because I don't always have the inspiration to practice, but I just started to do it again because I'm not going to try to force it. And I really love composing and everything like that. But I got into the process, or the habit of just discipline, I should say, of doing it every day. And with improvisation and composition, there's all sorts of things that go into play with it. You can make it real simple though, like for like me, when I'm trying to make up something on the violin, it's not actually the violin. It's there's a beautiful melody that I'll hear in my head, and I'll either play it on a keyboard or I'll play it on the violin. That's usually the best stuff that I do, is when those kinds of things come to me. But I can help people as well as myself come up with ideas and ways to construct songs using a variety of different means. And that's where the AI stuff kind of came into play. Was I had some ideas that I wanted to hear how they would sound if they were like, as I described, like Grammy quality, like, and and like kind of with like trap beats, stuff that would sound like good in like an arena, or like like I was thinking about like kids like getting into Bach like with like drum corps. Doom, doom, doo, doo, doom, doo, doo,
Right.
boom, boom, boom. So I started to do things where I took real like Nate Smith and Steve Gadd, they took their beats and I started to play Bach with them. And then my friend showed me how to use this software, because I was asking him if he wanted to collaborate, and he's like, bro, he's like, you don't need to collaborate anymore, man. He's like, you could be the producer. He's like, you already are. He's like, but now he's like, the stuff that you're putting through there isn't somebody else's samples. And I'm like,
And there you go. And then we'll touch on AI a bit. Like
it's a different way of looking at it, right?
That's the thing, right? Because when I first started doing the podcast, my very first episode was about something called the reconnection movement that I had written literally over 10 years ago in LA. And I swear it was like channeled through me, because it was not, it was before Chat GPT. And it was at that time, I was like, it was almost like, I was no Chat GPT, and it was just coming through, and it was just like, I was looking and everyone was disconnected with the phones, and I'm just like, this is gonna get worse, and like I'm thinking like how it's gonna distract and disconnect and all this stuff, but really distract us from ourselves, blah blah blah. There's this whole thing I wrote about it. And then on this journey, it was only 41 episodes ago. I've only been doing the podcast a couple months. And I was kind of like, even a couple of years ago, I would wear a t-shirt I got made. It was like, say no to AI, use your own brain, right? So I was kind of like more against AI for a while, because I'm like, look, it's going to take creative jobs away. It's going to, real musicians learn all this, and then someone comes in 2 minutes and the computer comes and takes it away, and they can do a song in 1 second and all that. And then any
tool could be used well or for good or for not. Yeah.
Exactly.
Not to interrupt you, please.
No, that's okay. But just to get to the future, but even over the course of 3 months, it wasn't until like I did the Love Zombies, the book that I sent to you. Yes. And I had that idea for over 10 years. Awesome. It's a story. It's a lot more than just a little kids thing. I say it's a reminder for adults too, but I could never get the graphics out the way I want. I had a great artist when in the Love Zombies band. He was great and everything, but you lose contact. I'm not going to write him and be like, hey, can you do a whole book for me? But then all of a sudden these tools are coming out, and I started using it, and I'm like, oh my God, like it's that debate. And I think it's going to be a debate for a really long time. There's a lot, like, whose hands it falls into, you lazy, not using it too much, not using your own mind, but the balance for people like you and me you do kind of have to do so much yourself, that I thought, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And literally, finally, after 10 years, I was able to get this thing in my soul out. And it was with the help of AI. So I'm kind of now in the middle, and I know I sent it to you, and you sent me a picture back of you flying through the air on a thing, like, with your violin. And I'm thinking, oh my God, as you said, it's almost a crazy time to be alive. It's like, oh my God, I don't need to rely on 100 like other people, because there was always bandmates and stuff I relied on, and I lost opportunities because I couldn't find the right person and this and that. So it gives you that autonomy and more independence. But there is risk to it, of course. You don't want to use it for everything. But people, and I had this conversation with my last musical guest, he uses it for his stuff too, but he's older and he knows how to play his stuff, and he's been doing it, and he likes using it too. But so I think it opens up a whole world. So that's my spiel. What do you think about all that?
I have to agree with you, and I think it would be good to elaborate on kind of what I feel you and I both are doing with this technology, and just like with anything, it can be used for good or bad. But if like, I mean, I was a big. I was going to say what looks better here. Boom, boom, boom. I was a big Star Trek dork when I was a kid, if you can't tell. And the computer on Star Trek was like always sometimes a little dumb, but for the most part she was just like a really, just a computer, like. And you have to be able to look at things like as a producer. And so it takes some time to be able to develop the skills to be able to determine if something's good or not, if you like it or not, if somebody else is going to like it or not. Like the level of experience that we have authentic experience that we've really, and I mean, I would love to, just the two of us have had such uniquely different lives. It's amazing. We can still relate to so many things, but I guarantee we both had lifetimes worth of experiences in this lifetime.
Yeah.
And I do feel that part of the musical gift that I have is a mental thing. I don't want to say it's like a mentalist thing. It's I've described it like that once, but it's like once you play the music of somebody else, like Bach, it's like there's a conveyance that comes from a higher part of him or God, that music was closer to the expression of the universe, I feel. And so by starting to play that music religiously and just note perfectly, I started to unlock the unbelievable mechanics of perfect violin technique in a new discovery that I don't think many people are aware of, because they don't know how Bach was so instrumental in developing the core technique. I'm working with guys that have rediscovered the instruments that he had. He had a cello-like instrument that's called a violon da spalla, spelled Violondaspalla. And Dmitry Bodyrov has been my coach, and he is the person that has rediscovered this instrument and made it, as well as taught the instrument making techniques, Holly, which they can be applied to any instrument, and it affects the string to length ratio. So the instruments that my friend Eric is making, 5 or 6 string, have a slightly different body size based on each one, and they're very specific. They're the same sacred geometries that were in the cathedrals. Like there's the golden ratio that's in all of the cathedral windows, and they're like, well, they didn't know about that back then. Yes, they did. It's just been it's been a very, very closely guarded and just naturally, we see it everywhere. So I mean,
hey, look, I have my sacred geometry on.
yes,
I've had this for years.
that's amazing. I just have like a little thing in my car. I went to the Library of Things the other day. The public libraries have now a library of things. You can rent out a green screen. I was thinking about doing that for today. And what I rented out was an easel, a long easel, and I found these sacred geometry mandalas. It's like a writing pack that my mother, that I inherited from my mother, and I thought, I'll use this, and so I'm going to do that. But I just thought people would find that interesting about the library, that they have things like
A library of things. Yeah.
all sorts of things.
That's so cool.
So, but yeah, I was talking about
Real quick, Mark, I
Yeah.
just want to say Aaron has a couple comments here. And Aaron is a good friend, a great friend from Maine. Man, he's amazing. He's a musician himself.
Hi, Aaron.
And he says, and he's been looking forward to seeing your interview here. He says, music enters the ear gate and affects your body, your soul, and spirit all at once. And then he says it influences the emotional and intellectual. It influences the conscious and the subconscious. I would argue is the most powerful art form. I believe that God sung creation into existence. Existence is God's original composition. I love that. And then he says AI
That's very Sufi of you. Yeah.
right? And AI has removed the difficult barriers and your artistic vision has been realized.
Very nicely said. Oh wow, I love all of that.
Yeah.
From the last one first, that just boiled down kind of what I was going to say, which is what AI really has done for me. Has given me the ability to be my own Quincy Jones without having to have to deal with record labels or anything like that. But like I always appreciated his like level of production, which like Steely Dan. There's a lot of bands out there, I'm sure, that you can get into the recording stuff. But I've always been a big fan of that since I lived with somebody that was an audio engineer, like really serious about it. He's designing speakers right now for Fish, which is pretty neat. And he was without power yesterday in Lancaster County. I was like, we just touched base. We lived together in Vermont. And we had a band, Mouse Bones, which was pretty cool. I played bass in that, and Moog and Fender Rhodes.
Oh, wow.
So that was like a lost part of my life where I basically worked at a burrito factory and was like learning how to play in a band. And my friend Josh had like this sound system that was the Pink Floyd quadraphonic sound system. So like back then I was coming up with like ideas for like making speakers, and now we got all these speakers and everything like that. So it's like there's so many different ways that we can expose ourselves to music and good frequencies, and like I feel like many times the good outweighs the bad. It's better to have some music on, keeps you going, keeps you happy, and focused and calm, whatever it is. It's medicine for me. And there are days that I have Temple radio on all day long and all day night, and there are weeks that I don't have it on at all, and I'm listening to new things, and I'm always interested in knowing like what your influences are, what people's influences are with music, and like because that's going to come through what, like, if whatever your tastes are, you can just say like if you want to vibe code something with AI, what I would recommend doing is I take my own material, like I come up with an idea. I could be out in nature, I'll record myself, or I could just play it in to a click track. That's the melody or something. Or I could take a recording of my band playing, or this guy, Doug Markley, that just sent me a message, who I'm on 2 of his albums. He might just send me something. I wouldn't use his stuff and upload it into this, but I have done it with some of my bands. And then the music that comes out, depending on what you do, if you're vibe coding it, you could say upbeat, the color green, make it flexible hip hop for working out, or like you could just say a bunch of stuff and it's going to confuse it or not. But like if you can just have 3 ideas, it actually can make things better than if you complicate it. So if you really think it out, you're like, okay, so, and then you go into it and you select it. You wanted to keep 99% of what you put in there. So that way your idea is intact, and then like what you're working with is just more like a Photoshop type of thing with your music. And then you could completely deconstruct it and do whatever. And you could do like, make me a song about my dog, eat my homework. That's like the first cue, that they have up there. It's silly. But I feel like it's as good a tool as what you give it. So if you give it some information, that's your like encoded personal signature. Your energy is encoded into this. If you want to get like mystical about it. And what I was trying to say before, I just needed to find my coffee because I was like looking for it in my makeshift studio here. But what was so neat was I was going to say past lives are cool. And what I figured out how to do is like actually just, and it's just for me, I think it could be for anybody really, like, there's a way that you can connect to anybody or anytime through your interface to divinity. And I feel like we refine that it's something that's opening up in some people more than others maybe, but like you don't want to lose the abilities that you have when you were a kid. You can kind of lose them, but like I know your intuition and everything, these are things that are going to be huge in this next era, and we're really talking about stuff that's going to be more commonplace. Holistic things in general they were taboo, but my mom had cancer. I was on a quest to save her, and I knew that the drugs didn't seem like they were really doing well for her or for me, and so we both decided we were going to get like into like sound therapy, like, and organic foods, and like just like basically like the least amount of poison you can put in your body, and all that type of stuff too, because you are what you eat. So if you're going to try to be a channel,
mind,
you
body,
want to,
spirit.
right? Yeah, you want to be the best person, the artist you can be. You want to take good care of yourself and not cheap out. And right now it's really, really important to, I feel, like just to touch on like food for a second. I found out that like a single hamburger could have like 1,200 strands of DNA in it. So I'm like, I'm just gonna get beef that's like shaved beef, like steak. Like I like to have beef, but I also want to make sure that it's sourced from some place that it ideally is single sourced. Like my friends have connections where there's like the meat is so much different.
Right.
Single source hamburger at a butcher. Oh my god,
a lot on this show. Even just a quick
and vegetables too, and
celery juice. I'm literally reading a whole book about celery juice and the miraculous. You have to have it on an empty stomach, and you cannot combine anything with it. No lemon juice.
Absolutely.
Straight celery juice. It's like a miraculously. I have my juicer and everything. It is holistics here, so we talk about a food.
I've done it
with the diet and everything.
I've done everything from the master cleanse to.
Me too. I've done the master cleanse too. And Donna, Donna is
I finished it. Oh yeah. you can mention to her. I did the master cleanse, and I had it finished with gentle colon hydrotherapy, and it eliminated some parasites from me that I was so shocked, and I was like, you just like saved my life. I was like so grateful to her.
Oh my gosh, Mark, we're gonna get you back. The thing is, I have about another 10 minutes because at 9 o'clock there's another show coming on.
Sure.
But we'll get you on again and we can talk all about diet. Like,
hey,
you gotta come back.
I'd love that. Would you be able to would you be open to me reading that thing I was mentioning,
Yes,
which is my mission statement?
Can you read that and then can you play
I'd
something?
be so honored.
for us? Yeah, we'll have
sure.
about 10 minutes. It's just we're like have another show coming on at 9 o'clock on the network. So I gotta go in about 10 minutes. So I don't want to I could talk all night. That's usually
Would you be able to give me like 2 minutes to prepare? And
yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead. You do the 2 minutes. We'll take a quick commercial break and I'll tell everyone about Love Zombies Land. Yes,
Thank you so
get your violin and then and hey, this is first of many. You're always welcome here. And we could do a whole episode just on talk about freaking food. Because it's one of my favorite things to talk about, especially healthy food. And we get into the protein debate and all that stuff and the energy of animals and all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like a cow's meditative field is the largest one on the planet. Have you ever heard that one?
What is it?
Of all the land creatures, the cow's electromagnetic field is the largest. The cow.
Really? No.
Because of all of its stomachs, somebody said. Oh yeah. But that's why they have one at each ashram. And I was driving by a cow on the way to a wedding, and I could see, I tapped into its field, and I'm like, oh my God, that's the deepest state of like absolute awesome. So I believe it completely.
Yeah, I heard something like literally the other day, just last week. I was like, I'm going to do a show about the animal kingdom and talk about all the animals. So I started looking up these weird facts in ChatGPT, and one of them mentioned a cow, and it said that cows were like, I don't know, something about them being very close to the other cows and friends, and they knew like if one left. I don't know. Animals are amazing. Why just the world when you look at it through the eyes of like amazingness, and we go through the humdrum of life, and you get stuck in the matrix, and life sucks. But really, when you take a look at it, not through labeling everything, is that it's just like it's amazing, right? It's amazing.
It is.
Especially in animals. I mean, so much. We could get into so much, but yes, go into your thing or whatever you have to do. And I'll play a little commercial, and then we will be back. And everyone tune in. Well, they're still tuned in if they're here. I see people watching, guys. Make sure you like and subscribe. And at the end, you're going to have to tell us if you have a website or whatever, anything where they can find your music, Mark, and everything. So, but first, go tune in, and we'll do a little commercial here. And don't forget, guys, Love Zombies Land is now available on Amazon. And be the change you want to see in the world, guys. Okay, so let me just play this real quick while he tunes up. He's going to give us a gift. So sit back and get ready to be transported to another dimension. But while we're still here.
The world has forgotten something important, and it's up to Lolly and the Love Zombies army to help us remember. When the evil Drago unleashes dark energies and dangerous amnesia fumes across Earth, a colorful band of heroes embark on a cosmic adventure filled with friendship, imagination, and heart. Love Zombies Land, a story for kids, but a reminder for adults too. Available now as a digital download exclusively at hollismahady.com. Each copy includes access to bonus content and a special soundtrack through an exclusive QR code inside the book. Join the community at buymeacoffee.com/hollismahady and receive a free digital copy as a thank you. And coming soon, the paperback edition, which will be available on Amazon. Join Lolly and the Love Zombies army on their mission to help the world remember what matters most: love. You're watching Holistics, hosted by Hollis Mahady. Be sure to visit hollismahady.com and join our email list to stay updated on upcoming shows, special events, new music, books, podcasts, and creative projects. And if you're looking for a community of like-minded people who value authentic human connection, meaningful conversations, creativity, music, art, and personal growth, join us at buymeacoffee.com/hollismahady. Together, we're building a growing community focused on preserving what matters most: real people, real conversations, and genuine connection.
The world is made up with illusions of gold, but it's all just a story, a lie that we're told. It's amnesia, we're under amnesia.
And there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he disappeared. That's a little of my music. That's my new one of my new singles out. It's called Amnesia. A little bit in line with what we're talking about. You know, the song is about remembering who you truly are. When I say that, I'm not saying I'm Hollis the musician, I'm Hollis and Mark's the violin player and all that. Who are we really? It's a little bit of a deeper meaning. And we're kind of here to wake up as we talk about the theme of the show. The theme of the show is music, but awakening and transcending to the higher consciousness, where the music comes from. Where does the music come from? We are the bodies and we are playing it through our abilities, but who gave us those abilities? What is all this stuff? So Amnesia out now on Spotify. You could download it, or you could go to my website, hollismahady.com. As we were waiting, Mark is going to come back and he's going to give us a little musical journey. And yes, you guys, again, don't forget, I will be back Wednesday night with an episode at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. And Friday, we will be back, of course, with Donna Flormonte from the Waverly Wellness House. She is the founder, and she has over 28 years of experience in holistic health and nutrition, and everything we're talking about is going to be an awesome episode. I have my questions ready. We'll ask her about the celery juice too, and we'll ask her about the Master Cleanse, because if anyone doesn't know what that is, I've done it before. Mark's done it before. Yeah, it's challenging, but anyway, okay, he's back. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. He's gonna play. Are you gonna play original? Are you gonna play something original? Oh, and now he's gone. He's gone. Mark, he teases us. We want more Mark. We need more Mark Woodyatt here, but we're gonna get him back on the show. Because we just, like I said, we just scratched the surface. Here he is.
Go.
So Mark's teasing us. We can't wait for this. Are you going to play an original? Or are you going to play? What are you going to play?
Okay.
Or you don't want to say? You could just do it. It's okay.
So I'm gonna play something. But I just thought you'd like to hear my mission statement. So
Yes, please.
Here's what it was. September 1st, 2000. If I chose the curveball approach, you would be reading for quite a long time, or in this case, listening. But alas, time is lacking, including energy, so a clean fastball of my life's diamond will have to suffice. I want to be influential in some way in this reality of around 6 billion human lives. I have wanted to share this since the first integration of talent from my wise mother. Somehow, this fathomless task seems seemingly impossible and improbable, yet stubborn tendencies helping, I plan to introduce to as many true souls as possible the beautiful meaning of music, life in my interpretation. From the first day of my mother's wisdom of morals and virtues creeped into my veins, I went to touch and I want to touch and change lives for the better, of course, and I want to do this without having to say anything, ironically. If my plans work out, and I intend for them to do so, I will be able to pick up a fragile carved object and use it to talk, to inspire souls lost or found, musically speaking. My mission, I want to educate myself as much as possible. I want to have beautiful, intelligent children. I want to be the best man possible and the best lover imaginable. I want to be the best. I want the best person in the world for me, not a Victoria's Secret model or a congresswoman. And I want to support, understand, and be supportive. I must have been really interested in having a girlfriend at this time, by my woman. And I want, anyways, bottom line, I got what I wanted.
Aw, when did you write that, Mark? Well, how old were you?
2000.
Wow, so
18.
26 years ago. 26 years ago.
I was 18, yeah.
And you know what, Mark? I'm
And
so
I just
proud of
found
you.
it.
I'm glad to call you a friend, and you've done it, and you're
Thank you.
amazing, and you've given so many gifts to the world, and you continue to do that.
And you
And I
continue to do
thank you
that
for
as well.
being here and blessing us with your music.
It's my honor, and the feeling is mutual. I would love to play you a little something. Is there anything? Well, your friend mentioned how God created the universe with a single sound, and when I first read Hazrat Inayat Khan's The Mysticism of Sound in Music, I was blown away by him saying if you just play one note correctly, it could bring balance to the whole universe.
Love that.
So maybe that's all I need to do. This is for but America's 250. To honor freedom, equanimity, freedom of speech and expression and religion. Wait, there were rockets in 1800? Look it up. Wow.
You keep going. That was amazing. Oh, that
Thanks.
was so good. Yeah, I love it. Thank you for playing
you.
that.
Well, thank you for showing me your friend's comment and thanks for
Oh.
your appreciation. That's what
Aw.
made me think of it. It was like I was like, I'll start on one note, and that note is exactly in the center of each string. If you put your finger exactly in that space, it sounds an octave higher than the string. And then somewhere in between, you get an octave even higher. So
That was awesome. Oh, amazing. Oh my
thank
gosh.
you.
And Aaron said that's powerful writing, Mark, a noble mission statement as well.
What was it? I don't know if I could do this, but I'm. A little.
A little Coldplay
Sweet.
there. That's
Yeah.
awesome. So good. So you guys, ladies and gentlemen, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Nick Barbie says Tishy loved it.
Awesome.
And Aaron loved your noble mission statement. He said this powerful writing, Mark, a noble mission statement.
Thank you. I mean, I definitely feel I'm grateful I could share that. It's more of a time capsule. I definitely feel. I was making a joke of saying I definitely feel like I'm still on that mission, and I have
Yeah.
a lot to do. But I'm grateful
Yes.
that I can go back and say I'm being true to myself now, and I'm grateful that people like yourself also are, and
Thank you.
you definitely like should have millions of viewers and followers, and that'll be organic, like
Yeah.
with us. That's why
Yes.
I feel like we're gonna live 100 years.
Yes. We've already lived,
I
like you said,
intend
a
to.
couple lifetimes. And you know what? As you said, we're just getting started. I said, we have a powerful mission in this life. And it's not about ourselves. It's about bringing the light to the world. As you said, be the change you want to see in the world. And I love that. That's what I always say as well. We're the music, we do music, but I even say with people that you don't have to go travel the world. You don't have to write an album. You don't have to do a book. You could be nice to someone, smile at someone, freaking don't be rude. Like, little things like you don't have to do all these grandiose things. If you do, great, but don't feel like you're any less. It's like, it starts with kindness. Be freaking kind. It's not that hard. If you're watching this, you like me, help us out. And Mark, in the meantime, what is your Where can they find your music? Do you have a website or do you have a Bandcamp or something like that? That
Yeah,
you want to
yeah.
plug or just tell people where to find your stuff or
Thanks.
support to
Yeah,
support you?
I feel like the thing I want the most support on right now is just like my YouTube channel because I have kept it like it's like a gem that is kept. So I just redid the name of it today, and I'm pretty sure I just changed it back to Mark Woodyatt.
Okay, I'm gonna
But
look at it right now and see
but
if
I'm
I
pretty
can share
sure
it here.
I changed the call sign to, and you can tell me if I'm correct, Golden Strings 007, just because I thought I spent so much of my life. I beat so many games, and I never talk about this, but this is part of what makes me so successful in the violin and being able to learn different styles and stuff and songs because I applied what you learn and all that time you try to beat like GoldenEye 007 or whatever the games are like Max Payne. I got into like all sorts of video games, and then when I realized that I had learned a formula that I just had to apply to the violin, I was like, oh, now I could do it. It's just like I just
Right.
have to spend time doing it, you know.
Oh, there we are, Mark.
Um,
Is that your that's your YouTube there? Or
no,
is that
oh
not
wait,
it?
is it? I don't know. I sent you a link to it.
Oh, you
Wait,
did?
let me put it in the chat with any. Well, I did.
Uh-oh, we lost him. Maybe he will put it in the chat room there, the link. That's a, I don't know. Oh yes, there it is. Golden string. I think that is the right one. That's what he was saying. Hopefully he'll pop back in. But yes, there you go, guys. That is where you could support Mark. Go and subscribe. Go right now when you're at it. Subscribe to me on YouTube. I'm trying to get the 300 followers, guys. No, I'm not trying. I don't care. If you want to follow me, go ahead. If you don't, that's all right too. I don't force it, but it does help. Help us out. Musicians are we do it because we love it. But we could all use some support or just some appreciation. If you like this video, leave a comment. You could go in, like I said, I have my buy me a coffee there. It's just if you want to join the community, you could get my Love Zombies land for free there for not for $10. You're gonna join for the month. But all that stuff, it helps. So hopefully Mark is getting it up here. And if Dan is listening, Dan, you could come out now and start getting your show ready because we have Rage of Aquarius on Voice of the People USA Radio Network coming up at 9 o'clock. Here's Mark. Okay, he's back there. Is this it, Mark? Golden Strings.
Yeah, yeah, that's
Okay,
it.
good. All
And
right, guys.
I just changed the picture today. Sorry, like I saw those clouds a couple days ago on the horizon there. If you see it, and then in the circle, if you look at that photo, it looks like there's some kind of like Ghost Rider in the sky. I took that coming down from Montage Mountain, and the clouds, both of the clouds in those photos that were taken 5 years different. They're both these weird clouds. They look like they're like spaceships or something. Like
Wow.
not spaceships, but they look like they're like some kind of weird, like mantis type of thing. Like I don't know. But isn't that weird that I and then you see the
Yeah.
music video there. That's a music video that I made for Doug Markley's music, which I made. I was at a viewing, and it was for somebody in the military, and so I just started to like play with my friend Doug's stuff, and I had it on real light, so I was like, plucking
Wow.
like that. I recorded video of me plucking on the phone, and you could hear his music in the background. He and I are good friends, so he's like, you can actually use my music for anything you want. I'm like, okay, this is
Wow.
awesome. Even though YouTube flags it, he gave me his
Right,
permission,
right.
and he owns his masters. So,
Yeah. That's
anyways,
why I go on Rumble a lot because Rumble doesn't really
yeah,
censor too much. Rumble's probably the best of the worst. I say YouTube, I mean, this is fine what you're doing, but like anything, nothing too
yeah,
controversial in there. But there you go, ladies and
exactly.
gentlemen. Go and check out Mark. Make sure you subscribe to his YouTube channel there. If
Thank
you're
you. That'd be a
watching this,
great first step. I'd so appreciate that, guys. Thank you.
yes. If
And
you're
I also
watching
have
right
other
now,
things, but we'll talk about
yeah,
that next time.
yeah. Or do you have a band camp or anything else you want to tell them to go to? Is it anything where your
Yeah, I have a
website? Maybe?
SoundCloud. I'm really proud of my SoundCloud, but you could look up my name on, just type in my name on Apple Music or Spotify, and I'm also on Roy Edwin Williams's new tracks. Roy Williams on both of those platforms, as well as like through Epidemic, the label that I'm recording with right now. So they're like what everybody uses on all their phones and stuff. So I have a really great job as a recording artist, and I do that stuff for everybody. Like if you want emotive strings or stuff, and that's why I put on the playlist there like some of how I see music. I wanted people to experience it, and I tried to do whatever I could to bring that into visual at the time. So, that's why I appreciate what you're doing, because you've got everything going on too with your production. And for my live stuff, I'm definitely going to look forward to hearing how your setup is and just basically getting myself set up, because I haven't done something like this in a while. So I appreciate your patience with me with
Oh, no, oh my gosh. I totally understand. But yes, guys, so, Mark Woodyatt, go to his YouTube, subscribe to it, look him up. It's Mark and the last name Woodyatt. Don't like Woodyat.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy to have you on a guest. Like I said, we just scratched the surface.
Thank you.
You are a dear friend. You are welcome anytime. We'll pick a topic and come back on in a couple weeks or whenever you could make the time to come back onto Holistics. So
thank you, Hollis.
and again, usually we have a special show. He's doing it in a couple minutes, so I'm gonna get off so I could let Dan do the Rage of Aquarius, and it's a show. But again, next time we will talk more. We'll pick a topic and we could go into all of it, because I really want to talk to you more about AI and aliens and lots of and past lives, and we could get into all of it.
Awesome.
Sound good?
Sounds great.
Awesome. Well, Mark, thank you so much for your time. I love you, dear friend.
Thanks,
you
Hollis.
did great. And thanks for being here. And remember, guys, go and share the show and subscribe and do all those good things. And Mark, you have a blessed night, sir. Love you. Thank you so much for coming on.
As well.
And we'll see you next time. All right.
I love you all. All creatures great and small. I love
Yeah,
you
all
I love
creatures
you all.
great and small. Love you, Mark. Take care. Talk to you soon. Talk to you soon. Okay. All right. Let's see. Now I have to. Okay, guys. So this is there you go, guys. Mark Woodyatt. We had him. We did a great interview. So much fun. Few technical difficulties. Can you still hear that? I love it. I love it. Yes. So you guys remember, we just scratched the surface here, but on Holistics. But we will be back Wednesday at 7 p.m. And remember, tune in Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time for Donna Florimonte from the Waverly Wellness House. She is awesome. And Mark will be back on the show. Go and give him a follow. And guys, I'm going to end it now, but I will see you all Wednesday. And yes, share the show. And that's it. I'm going to tune off. I am going to end it with one of my favorite songs. Not my favorite song, my favorite closing song. It's the only closing song. And thank you, Aaron, for being here, and Nick for being in here. Everyone in the chat room. Thank you guys. Jason, Joe, everybody who came in, Jim, Tim. Thank you guys for being here. And I will see you guys all on Wednesday night. And of course on Friday night. And this is a song I use from Epidemic Sounds. It's called Lights. And we're going to close the show, guys. And we'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in. As always, I'm Hollis Mahady, your host. And you have been watching Holistics with me, Hollis, and Mark Woodyatt tonight. Thanks again, Mark, for coming on and talking with us. Love you, Mark. See you soon, guys. Have a great night.
Thank you for watching Holistics, hosted by me, Hollis Mahady. If you enjoyed the show, be sure to share it with someone who might need it too. And if you'd like to support the podcast, you can visit buymeacoffee.com/Hollis Mahady. You can make a one-time donation or become a member for just a few dollars a month to get extra podcasts and exclusive behind-the-scenes content you won't find anywhere else. Or simply scan the code on the screen. Your support truly means the world to me and helps me continue creating independent content for you. If you like the music featured in this show, I license it through Epidemic Sound. You can head over to hollismahady.com, click on the podcast page, and use my link for a free trial. And don't forget to check out VOPUSARadio.com, where I host my music channel and am building a growing community of independent musicians. If you're interested in joining the network, just click Join Network and submit an application. Until next time, remember that you are loved and never alone. From human to human, big hugs. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you next time. Enjoy the outro video. I love this song.
Lights shining from the window late at night. I'm just watching someone else's life go by, wishing it was mine. Dreams, everybody has them at the start. Somewhere along the way they fall apart, and it makes it kinda hard to look up at the lights. Try your best to hold on to the rope. We all have a reason to let go, and it's easier to do, but it's better if we don't. When the lights go out, everything is clearer. When the lights go out, I can finally see what it's all about. Standing in the mirror, when the lights go out, it's you looking back at me. When you wish upon a star just to find out it's a plane, and when you think you've come so far, but you're standing still again, and you finally understand. When the lights go out, everything is clear. When the lights go out, I could finally see. When the lights go out, everything is clearer. When the lights go out, I could finally see what it's all about. Standing in the mirror, when the lights go out, it's you looking back at me. Hope. Try your best to hold on to the rope. We all have a reason to let go, and it's easier to do, but it's better if we don't.